For this lesson, we'll be adding fractions. So for our first example, we have to add the following fractions. 2/7 plus 3/7. Well, the nice thing about these two fractions is that they both have the same denominator of 7, which means we don't have to do any converting when we try to add them. We know that our final answer is going to have a denominator of 7, and we'll just add the 2 and the 3 from the numerators, so 2 plus 3 equals 5, and so our final answer will be 5/7. Our second example, we have to add 1/3 and 2/5. Now you can see this is different because we have a 3 and a 5 as the denominators, and they're obviously different numbers. So we have to do some converting before we can add. What we have to ask ourselves is, what is the least common multiple between 3 and 5? Which means, what's the smallest number that both 3 and 5 can divide evenly into? Well, 15 is the smallest number. Another trick you can sometimes do, if you actually multiply the two denominators by each other, in this case 3 times 5, that equals 15, and that is also the least common multiple between the two. So now that we have our new denominators that we're going to use of 15, we do have to do some adjusting to the numerators. So because we multiplied 3 by 5 to get 15, we also have to multiply the numerator by 5. So 5 times 1 equals 5. And on the other side, we multiplied 5 by 3 to get 15, which means we'll have to multiply 5's numerator by 3. So 2 times 3 equals 6. And now you can see we have two fractions that both have the same denominator, so we can just add the numerators, and then the final answer will be 11/15. Our final example, we're going to add two numbers, and the first one's a fraction 1/4. The second one actually isn't a fraction, it's a whole number of 3. So you might ask yourselves, how can we add a fraction to a whole number? Well, the best way to do it would be to convert that 3 into a fraction. And you can make any whole number into a fraction by simply putting a 1 underneath it. So now you have the fraction 1/4 being added to 3/1. Well, we still need to find common denominators between 4 and 1. Well, this one's kind of easy. 4 is the smallest number that both 4 and 1 can divide into, which means you don't have to change the first fraction at all. It's still going to be 1/4. And we'll have to change the second one because we had to multiply 1 by 4 to get 4. We'll have to multiply that 3 by 4 and get 12. And so then, when you add 1 and 12, you get 13 and over the denominator of 4. Now that's an improper fraction because the number on top is larger than the number on the bottom. So we can either leave it as 13/4, or you can say, all right, how many times does 4 divide into 13? Well, it divides in 3 whole times, but there'd be a remainder of 1 left. So you can either call that 13/4 or 3 1/4. Either one is an acceptable answer.